To explore any ideology or school of thought that claims to be an alternative, the most reliable way is to examine its internal rules, the composition of its membership, the method of implementing its fundamental principles, and the manner in which its affairs are managed in accordance with its own internal regulations. This approach lifts the veil from contradictions and measures claims against actual practices. Can those who claim to champion democracy run an organization by imposing compulsory hijab, enforcing gender segregation, and engaging in extreme mistreatment of both women and men, such as suppressing freedom of expression, legal discrimination, or physical exploitation, and then speak of democracy and freedom to former government officials while handing them a rose and still gain credibility? The People's Mujahideen organization, also known as the MEK, presents itself as a democratic alternative for Iran's future and claims that, through its political and ideological structure, it can establish a system based on freedom and justice. However, to assess the validity of these claims, a thorough examination of the behavioral health and living conditions of the organization's members, especially women and girls, is essential. This scrutiny must be conducted with meticulous attention to key factors, including internal relationships, the organization's treatment of its members, and the conditions in the group's camps in Iraq and Albania. Between 1986 and 2012, thousands of MEK members lived in Camp Ashraf, and from 2012 to 2016, in Camp Liberty. Both camps are located in Iraq's Diyala province, and together they housed more than 3,400 people. After the fall of Saddam Hussein in 2003, responsibility for protecting them from the Americans was transferred to the Iraqi government, leading to bloody clashes. Dissident members at Camp Ashraf faced prolonged solitary confinement, up to 5.5 years, severe beatings, torture, forced confessions, death threats, and psychological control. At least 600 members sought to leave after 2003, but the MEK leadership prevented them. Camp Ashraf can be considered one of the most horrific sex cult camps and one of the darkest chapters in the history of the third millennium. The Rand Corporation report in 2009 states that the MEK exhibits many of the typical characteristics of a cult, such as authoritarian control, confiscation of assets, sexual control, including mandatory divorce and celibacy, emotional isolation, forced labor, sleep deprivation, physical abuse, and limited exit options. But the practice of removing the uterus, medically called a hysterectomy, in the service of criminal politics is something that several cult members have spoken about extensively. Numerous interviews and reports have been conducted over the years with individuals from various parts of the world who managed to escape and separate themselves from this cult and build new lives for themselves. Interviews with 6 such defectors, including Reza Sadeghi, a former senior commander, described it as a psychological prison.
The first time I went to Masoud Rajavi's rally in Tehran, and I heard he was talking about the freedom and democracy and the equal rights between women and men, and it had a lot of effect on me and a lot of other youth like myself.
But this was only the beginning of the crime, because Rajavi had a sinister plan for all these women. First, cutting off all hope for the future. Second, mutilating women. Third, using women who had now accepted their role as sex slaves and whose only responsibility was to be members of Masoud Rajavi's personal harem to achieve unity and oneness with their leader.
سازمان یک کنترل خیلی سخت و شدیدی رو روی افراد انجام میداد و همینطور به طور خاص روی زنان.
مسعود رجوی در یک جلسه گفتش که ما میخوایم هر گونه امید به آینده رو از بین ببریم یا شما تمام عیار با تمام وجود هستید برای سازمان یا نیستید. و به دنبال این بود که گفت که خب حالا یعنی شروع کرد به این که یکی از چیزایی که افراد دارن بهش فکر میکنن، خانوما دارن بهش فکر میکنن، این که آینده برن بچه دارشن و دوباره دنبال زندگی. و تو بازدیدایی که شروع شد از زنا به طور گسترده دیدیم که خانوما رو دارن یکی یکی همینطور 20 تا 30 تا مثلا مشاهده شد که اینا دارن میرن روانشون رو جراحی میکنن.
Women who lived behind the most terrifying fortified barricades, right under the noses of American leaders and US senators, were forced into horrific and deadly conditions, compelled to endure countless atrocities. While on the other side, individuals previously connected to the US government received money and gifts to turn a blind eye to their crimes. History will be the final judge.
من یه بار خودم مریض بودم، رفته بودم بیمارستان داخل مرکز خودمون. بعد دیدم که یه سری زنا دامنای بلندی تنشونه تو بیمارستان و خیلی سخت راه میرن، ولی شلوار نداشتن، فقط دامنای بلند، پیراهنای بلندی تنشونه. من یه نفر اونجا بود که با هم دیگه خیلی صمیمی بودیم و اینا. من ازش پرسیدم، گفتم که فلانی چه خبره اینجا؟ چرا اینقدر از این خواهر چیز شده، این لباس رو تنشونه؟ گفت که من خبر نداری؟ گفتم نه. گفت که عمل کردم. گفتم عمل چی؟ گفت رحم. گفتم چرا؟ گفت رحمشون در آوردن دیگه. اونم براش مثلا یه جوری بود، خیلی عادی بود، یعنی براش عادی کرده بودن.
This documentary has drawn on a collection of verified documents and archives from credible global media outlets. It reveals the truth so that those who unknowingly support this criminal cult understand that any association with the MEK is a guaranteed losing gamble on the most undemocratic armed Iranian militia. Freedom-loving Iranians, despite all the heavy costs they have paid over this half-century, are never willing to replace the criminal Islamic Republic with the MEK.